The Producers is one of my all-time favourite films. It's about two fraudsters who produce a Broadway play, hoping it will fail on its first night so they can keep their investors' money. Do you think that would work on Kickstarter? Just joking. We both know it would and has. Oof, edgy.
Yes, it's quite possible. If he were certain that the show would fail, a man could make a fortune.
Yes?
Yes, what?
What you were saying. Keep talking.
What was I saying?
You were saying that under the right circumstances, a producer could make more money with a flop than he could with a hit.
Gene Wilder plays Leo Bloom, named after Leopold Bloom in Ulysses. An extremely nervous accountant stuck doing rich people's books.
There's nothing. Why can't I see?
My blanket! My blue blanket! Give me my blue blanket!
Zero Mostel plays Max Bialystock, a down-on-his-luck theatre producer, reduced to wearing cardboard belts.
You see this? This once held a pearl as big as your eye. Look at me now. Look at me now! I'm wearing a cardboard belt.
Me, I prefer a good old power cord. They work out that they can produce more money producing a flop than a success if they raise too much money and the play closes early. So, in their newfound friendship, they start to look for the worst play ever written.
Max, let's call it a night. It's 2 a.m. I don't know what I'm reading anymore.
Read. We've got to find the worst play ever written. Gregor Samsa awoke one morning to discover that he had been transformed into a giant cockroach. It's too good.
Now, it just so happens that I have a script, so if anybody from Hollywood would like to make some money, Princess Theodolite and the Robot comes in at 185 pages, and you're not going to find a tale about geology and romance and sadness anywhere near as written as this. So give me a call.
Springtime for Hitler. A gay romp with Adolf and Eva at Berchtesgaden. Wow.
So they go to meet the author of the play.
He's wearing a German helmet.
Don't say anything to offend him. We need that play.
So great, they've got Springtime for Hitler. So now they need a director. Here's a little fact for you. The guy who plays the director, Christopher Hewitt, later went on to play Mr. Belvedere. Earlier in his career, Zero Mostel was one of the stars in a film called Mr. Belvedere Rings the Bell. You know, if ever you're wondering at a party, what can I say as an icebreaker? Now you know. And also don't forget to, in front of people's faces. Oi, do you want to know a fact about Mr. Belvedere? Yeah? You remember Mr. Belvedere? You know, from about 10 years before you were born? Yeah? Come on, concentrate. People really like that. It's really endearing.
Please sit down. Roger? Ah, Mrs. Bialystock and Bloom, I presume. Forgive the pun.
What pun?
Shut up, he thinks he's witty. Good to see you again, Roger. Did you get a chance to read Springtime for Hitler?
Remarkable. A stunning piece of work.
So now with the writer on board, a director, and after casting for Hitler, they're all ready to produce Springtime for Hitler. I can't stop saying Springtime for Hitler. How does it work out for them? Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You'll have to watch the rest of the movie. Now, as I said before, this is one of my favourite movies. I think it's by far Mel Brooks' best movie. I really like Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, but I think that The Producers is much better. It's wacky and zany like those, but it's also set in reality. But more than that, what really makes The Producers stand out, in my opinion, is the on-screen chemistry between Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder, two great actors in their own right.
You miserable, cowardly, wretched little caterpillar. Don't you ever want to become a butterfly? Don't you want to spread your wings and flap your way to glory?
You're gonna jump on me. Huh? You're gonna jump on me. I know you're gonna jump on me. Like Nero jumped on Poppaea.
Who?
Poppaea. She was his wife and she was unfaithful to him. So he got mad and he jumped on her up and down, until he squashed her like a bug. Please don't jump on me. I'm not gonna jump. I'm not gonna.
There are times in The Producers where the way they interact with each other makes you believe that these are two business partners who know each other intimately.
Max, he's wearing a dress.
No kidding.
In many ways, I look at it and I think that Mel Brooks didn't really realise what he had on his hands. If you look at his other films, they can still be funny, but they don't have anywhere near the same character depth. Zero Mostel was a film and stage actor who was blacklisted in the 50s and probably would have been much better known if that hadn't have happened. And Gene Wilder is an actor who, no doubt, is very well known still, probably mostly for playing Willy Wonka in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but I feel bears quite a lot of similarity to Philip Seymour Hoffman, in that I think that both of those actors, Gene Wilder and Philip Seymour Hoffman, didn't really ever fulfill their potential. Gene Wilder started off on stage and really wanted to be known as a serious actor. And I do think that that one film that would have been Gene Wilder's film, you know, when people talked about Gene Wilder, they'd always refer to that particular film and his performance in that film, passed him by. I think that he could have been in something well into his 50s or even 60s, which would have completely changed the way people look at Gene Wilder. I kind of think it's a shame that people remember him for Willy Wonka. Don't get me wrong, he was a very good Willy Wonka. But he had so much more going on. And I think if you look at the producers and keep that in mind, you can really see it. He really brings depth to Leo Bloom. Even though it's wacky and him and Zero Mostel are jumping around and shouting at each other, there's real depth there. There's real intelligence behind what he's doing and how he's portraying Leo Bloom. And really, that's why I love the producers. It's these two grown men who are jumping around, shouting at each other, acting absurd, but they're completely believable. And I really do think that's to do with the acting ability of the two leads, rather than Mel Brooks' directorial ability.
What say we promenade through the park?
I'd love to, but it's nearly 2 o'clock. I should be getting back to Whitehall and Marks.
Nonsense. As far as Whitehall and Marks is concerned, you're working with Max Bialystock, right?
Right?
That being said, the writing's consistently funny. And I suppose it was pretty brave that Mel Brooks wrote this and directed it when he did, only 23 years after the Second World War. That's a bit like me writing and directing a happy-go-lucky film about two con men during the Rwandan genocide. When it came out, many people found the film profoundly offensive. And I guess Max Bialystock and Leopold Bloom are meant to be two Jews. And they're two Jews who are putting on a play about Hitler just to defraud people. But Mel Brooks said the best way to deal with bigotry or fascism is to make fun of it. And the film certainly does that. Now, you might be wondering what I think about the 2005 remake. Well, I don't think it's very good, because it isn't very good. I think Mel Brooks made it because after he made the 1968 version, it being his first feature film, he sold the rights to it, so he couldn't make any money off it. So he remade his own film, and he put on the Broadway play, which I guess is a play within a play. But really, there'll only ever be one producers. If you haven't seen it, you've got to get a copy. It really is great. Thanks for joining me, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Or if not, give me $1,000 and I'll give you 10%.
Well, Max, this is it! Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
Relax, in 2 hours our worries will be over.